Hello, everybody. Welcome to Slogan's Rock and Metal Extravaganza. We're here today for our Best Song series, and today is all fired up with the band Fastway. So we're going to give a little... And joining us today, we got Sammy Curlins. We'll explain that later for those who are confused. Joseph Pseudo, and we got Bad Brian McFadden here today.
Yeah.
And I'm Fast Sydney. Couldn't come up with anything for Joey, and I don't think he wants to be nicknamed. Fast Joey Pseudo? I don't know. I don't know. So British band formed by Pete Way, ex-bass player of UFO, and Fast Eddie Clark from Motorhead, but Pete left before they recorded anything because he has some sort of contract issues with Chrysalis, and he couldn't legally record anything on another label, and he went to play for Ozzy, did a few shows. I don't even think he lasted the whole tour, just did like a few shows. And so that kind of didn't work out, and he never ended up back in Fastway again. I don't know what happened, like why he never was able to get back into the band, so it's very strange because they continued to use the name with his name partially in it. So
yeah, I wonder what he thought about. I wonder what he thought about some of these albums with his name on it. You know.
Yeah, like I was confused when I first heard of that. I was like, "Oh, cool, Pete Way's in." And I'm looking at them, why is his name not listed here? It's like, what? Where's Pete Way? Like what? So yeah,
one of the many confusing things of this band is their lineup. So
yeah, it's just lineup changes like crazy.
Oh man, big time!
Pretty much every album, yeah.
That's the death of a band when they have that many changes. You don't get a good flow going on, you know.
No,
you can't. Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everyone knew Eddie Clark from Motorhead, but still, I mean, you had the singer there for a little bit. Yeah, it's like they didn't even really have any real official bass players for the most part. Drummers kept changing, and it was just kind of who played on what situations in some cases, which we'll get into. But yeah. So yeah, first album is just the self-titled debut, The Fastway. And you got, like, again, just 3 of them on the back, like no bass player listed or anything, which is, yeah. So I guess they had a session guy on here by the name of, what was his name? Mick Feet. Bass guitar uncredited. I don't know. So, yeah. And then we got Dave King on vocals and harmonica, Fast Eddie Clark on guitar, and Jerry Shirley on drums, who was in Humble Pie. So it's pretty much a super group. Would have been even more super if Pete Way had actually stayed. But I wonder if that held them back in a way, because I don't know.
Like they got off to a great start, so I don't think that had anything to do with it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's one of
those
two
albums.
The first album got to like 35 or something here in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep, it was 35, right?
Yeah, so first album we got just released April 1983, produced by Eddie Kramer, so they had a big name producer at the helm. And yeah, it was on Columbia. And so yeah, we got Easy Livin', Feel Me, Touch Me, and in brackets, Do Anything You Want, All I Need Is Your Love, Another Day, Heft, We Become One, Give It All You Got, Say What You Will, You Got Me Running, Give It Some Action, and then there's Far Far From Home, which was originally just a separate promotional single. And it was on the original vinyl LP pressings. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have it. And
mine doesn't either.
It was not on the original cassette, and not even on like reissues. But I guess it is on the CD, apparently. So I think, Joey, is it on your CD? You said you got all the... So it should be on there.
Yep.
There you go. And it's there. Okay. So
Far From Home?
It is on there. Okay. So Far From Home.
Last song on the album, right?
Yeah.
Bonus track.
Yeah. Okay, so they even title it as a bonus track on the thing. Okay, so we're going to head on over to Joey. We're going to go Joey, Brian, Logan, and then me. So, Joey, what's your first pick on the first album?
Well, this one was kind of tough. Well, not really, but if we had to do like our top 3, it'd be harder for sure. Obviously, I just went with Say What You Will.
Okay.
You know, what else can you say? I don't think there's a song on this. The only song that would come close to me is Easy Livin'. Yeah, but this song has a lot of killer. This album has a lot of killer riffs on it, and just a great album. You know, from start to finish. But Say What You Will is just something that through the course of time, you know, you hear it. You hear the opening riff on the radio or whatever you're listening to, and it just boom hits you right off the bat. And I don't think they've made a stronger song since.
Okay, and that was a pretty decent hit, right?
Well, it
Yeah.
got a lot of airplay on like the AOR radio stations,
Yeah.
and they would play it on like the metal shows,
No.
in the 80s. But in the late night, it wouldn't be something you'd hear like during the day on a rock station.
Okay.
But it is what it is. It's a heavy song.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of like that bluesy shuffle, right? But it's still a heavy. Yeah, that is a good song. All right, so Brian. What's your favorite off of this?
I gotta go with Heft. I grew up with the album, but Heft that hit me young when I was a young teen, and it stuck with me. I love the drums on it. I even like the big gated the drum production of it. It is a record of its time. It sounds like it's from its time, but I think it's more backloaded than front loaded for that particular album. But no complaints with it at all. I don't think there's any skippers on it. And just like he said, there's a lot of really good riffs. A lot of good riffs.
And do you hear? I hear a lot of Great White, especially Dave King's voice. Like him and Jack Russell. Your voice is your voice, but even musically, I find a lot of it sounds like some of the early Great White stuff.
Yeah.
Very similar sounds.
Well, he's always been compared to Robert Plant a lot too, especially on.
Yeah, you got the Zeppelin influence.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
A lot of Zeppelin. Yeah, a lot of Zeppelin in it.
No.
Nope.
And Jack was also Great White was all influenced by Zeppelin, right? So they shared the same influences around the same time. So like I said, your voice is your voice. But yeah, great singer, Dave King's now in Flogging Molly, which is interesting music if you hear it. It's like, yeah. So
It's no Fastway.
It's different. So Logan, what would you pick for this?
Well, pretty much going to echo everything what you guys said. I'm not going to go with either of the songs you picked, but exactly what you guys said about the riffs and the rhythms. I just think what I love about this band is like Eddie Clark's simplicity. He doesn't have to go over the mountain trying to wow you with flashy solos, and it's just great blues rock. I've always loved these albums. But yeah, I'm going to go with the side 2 opener, We Become One, which pretty much it's just like a great, riff in E. Has this little like descending note passage, which I really like. Kind of very anthemic. I think you could say a lot of the songs this band did was kind of anthemic. Had that kind of live feel. You could see it going down well in concerts. And yeah, I just love how the track changes frequently in styles. Like it goes from this hard rock edge into this like blues shuffle thing for the second part. And then it goes into something completely different, like a minute in, because Dave King has this like high note, and then the riff changes completely. It's a whole different riff and everything. And it's kind of back to like a shuffle, but it's a little different than the earlier one. And like I said about Eddie, I just love his playing on this song. He does a lot of pentatonic blues leads, which I just, that's the kind of stuff I can play. So I think that's part of it too, to me, really, because I play a little bit of guitar, but I just feel like when I can play something and I can understand where somebody's coming from, it just makes me connect to the albums a little bit better in a way. So, yeah. And I want to mention too, they shot a video for this song, and it's like the band's playing in like some abandoned garage or something. And
I did watch that video.
Yeah, and there's some guy with like a sword or something, and he's like holding Dave King's throat. It's weird. And Eddie Clark's guitar is like on fire. It's like, what in the world? Yeah. But yeah, We Become One's mine. So.
All right, yeah.
Great record.
That's a heavy song too. It's probably the heaviest song on there. It's kind of got like a really heavy riff. Quite a few change. Probably the only one that has like a lot of changes, right? Like for the most part, they kept it simple, but this one they threw like that song's got a lot of changes on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it's obviously a good record because we're all picking something different. I went with the opening. I went with the opening track, "Easy Livin'." Yeah, it's basically just rock and roll by Zeppelin, sort of. It kind of has that tempo, that melody, but it rocks. Yeah. It's just a fun, high-energy song. And his vocals on that melody and the chorus is just so simple, but it's just catchy and fun. Just a fun, high energy, like almost AC/DC, Zeppelin kind of influence song.
I love in the
high
chorus
energy.
too. Like he plays like a little bit of acoustic. Like they had a
Yes,
little bit of
yeah,
acoustic.
there is
going on.
acoustic. Yes, there's acoustic going on in the background, but it works.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's a really high energy, fun song. And yeah, see, there are 5 people all picked something different. So there you go. So another day was that pick.
Great.
Okay, so yeah,
Great song too. Yeah.
I went with Easy Living'. So yeah, I almost picked Another Day. That's another great one, but I went with Easy Living', which is also a good
That's
Uriah
another
Heep
one that
song.
kind of changes. It kind of has like acoustic ballad
Yeah.
feel, and then it goes like
Yeah, for something that's just so straightforward, like just a straightforward rock and roll song, they did throw in a few changes in there.
Yeah.
It's just a fun, high energy. It's probably my favorite out of all of these if we were to rank them. But yeah, it's a fun, high energy album. Which brings us to All Fired Up, the name of the episode, with what I thought was a potato chip at the top when I first looked at it.
I kind of thought this was weird, guys. They put All Fired Up on here twice because it's at the top. And then
They did actually. I didn't know. Yeah, it's like the
They
album
really need to put it on there twice.
They really want to push it.
The album's so nice they named it twice. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
maybe.
Right,
they were all fired up to name it twice. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, we got All Fired Up came out in July 1984, still produced by Eddie Kramer. We got the title track, All Fired Up, Misunderstood, Steal the Show, Station, Nonstop Love, Hurtin' Me, Tell Me, Hung Up on Love, The Stranger, Telephone, and If You Could See. And on here we got an actual full lineup. We got, returning is Dave King on lead vocals, Fast Eddie Clark still on guitar, Jerry Shirley on drums, and now Charlie McCracken is on bass guitar here. And Logan, I didn't even know this until Logan pointed it out before we were chatting before the show. Charlie McCracken was the bass player in the band Taste with Rory Gallagher. And I think he went on, I don't know if he went on to play, I think he went on to play with Rory in his solo career, but I didn't know he was in Taste.
He did a couple different things. Spencer Davis.
He was in Spencer Davis. And he did play with Rory. So he was with Rory for, he did. He played with Rory, and he also played with him in Taste. So
cool.
So they had him in the band as well on this album. So, Joey, what would you pick from this?
Well, the one thing I'll say on this one, there's just not one track that I would skip on this one, and it might be a little odd. A lot of people always say that the first album, was the best one, but in my estimation, I think this one is the best album by them that they ever released.
Nice.
But as far as the best song, this one, you got to go all the way down to the last track on the album, If You Could See. And that's also on the Trick or Treat soundtrack.
Yeah.
But because there's one song from this album and one song from the previous album on there, but the rest is all new. So, but I just love this song. I think there's a lot of good songs on this album, but that one to me is the one that stands out the most. This album doesn't really hit you as far as the riffs do, like on the first album. It seems like it's a little bit more melodic. The vocals, the lyrics are just a little different, compared to the first album. But this is my favorite Fastway album, and I got If You Could See.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah.
Well, the band must have liked it because they included it again on, like they said, at the end of Trick or Treat, right? So.
Yeah.
I would personally, we'll get to that. I would prefer 2 new songs to be added to Trick or Treat if you're going to do a new album. But yeah, I guess maybe they didn't have enough material. I don't know. But yeah. So Brian, what would you pick from All Fired Up?
I agree with him. It's the whole album. There's no skippers. I love the production on it. I think it's better than the first album, and I also picked it as my number 1. I like Misunderstood a lot, but because of the Zeppelin influence, I picked Hurting Me. Just it kind of reminds me of that Kingdom Come.
Yeah,
Led Zeppelin.
It does sound like Kingdom Come. Yeah, it does.
With the blues and the crescendo that he's singing, I really love his voice. That one I could play over and over. If you were to skip, you know what I mean? I'd hear it and I'd rewind, then I'd rewind just for a couple. But yeah, but Misunderstood is really good, and the whole thing, like it opens up. Misunderstood, I think, is the second song,
Yep.
if I remember. And
Yeah.
it, like the whole front side just keeps you, you know, engaged. It keeps you listening to what's going to be on the second side. And this is one of those records, like when you get done with it, you can flip it immediately and start listening to it again.
Nice. Yeah, he's
Very
such a great singer too, right? Like he's got such a good
Oh,
voice.
No, he's awesome, man.
No
yeah.
one mentions Dave King, unfortunately, but he mean
He's from Ireland.
flogging Molly apparently is popular. I just typed them up on YouTube, and there's a video that like 30 million views. I'm like, okay, well, he went on to success anyways. He did
Yep.
at least good, and he actually apparently was he just came out of a coma. Apparently, he was in a coma in February for 2 months.
Yeah.
He had,
Terrible, man. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Can't remember what he had that caused the coma. But yeah, he had some sort. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, he ended up in a coma, and apparently he's recovered. So that's good at least. But, yeah, I don't think he actually likes people bring up Fastway. I don't know why. I guess because he thinks of flogging Molly. I guess is his career. He doesn't like looking back on this. I don't know. I don't know why.
I'd be proud of it, man. I mean,
Yeah, I guess they're
Because
not.
didn't he leave on the third album? Didn't he leave?
He was on the third album, which was
he?
Waiting for the Roar.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on that. And the fourth album, Trick or Treat, he's still there. So yeah, Logan, what would you pick from All Fired Up?
well,
Yes,
I'm gonna go.
Brain Hemorrhage.
Go.
Yes.
Gonna go with the fifth track on side one, which is "Nonstop Love." Tune starts off with a great blues shuffle riff. More of the same structurally from the first album. I like how you guys were saying. Pretty cool. Both you guys like this one better. I don't know. This is like the battle for me with this catalog. Both these albums because I
It's
just
like a
love
tie
them both.
almost.
Yeah, it's like I mean, if it's like
like
it's like this and that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like bookends. They go together. That's one album.
Right. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Double
yeah,
album.
just
There
like-
you go.
Yeah, they should have made it a double. Yeah, I love that stop-start kind of quick section in the chorus and verses. Kind of lets Dave kind of shine a little bit more. Got some great drum fills too from Jerry Shirley, which he's kind of an underlooked drummer. Nobody really ever talks about him. I kind of wonder what the story is, like how he got involved. You know, I'm sure they probably all knew each other, but just kind of funny. Yeah, but kind of like my pick from We Become One. This one kind of changes too. It goes to like a slower mid-tempo thing, a minute and a half in, which is the same riff from the start, but it's just slowed down. I thought that was kind of interesting too. It makes it sound like a completely different riff, but if you listen to them both, it's like, it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, Dave King gets some more spotlight time with the band going in and out with his vocals before and after Eddie's pretty cool wah guitar solo, which I'm going to mention the wah quite a bit because he lays it on some of these albums. He's a great player.
Oh, yeah.
I said he's a great player in servicing what the song needed and not making it all about him, kind of like what I said at the start. But yeah, and I just like how it ends. It goes back to that shuffle kind of from the start, and then it goes slow again to end out. But yeah, I just think it's a well-crafted rock and roll song. So
Nice.
yeah, Nonstop Love. I probably could have went with anything off this. So.
It's so different than Motorhead, right? Like if you're expecting
Oh,
like
yeah.
Motorhead songs, you're not getting that. It's a completely different thing. Like it's still raw, it has still high energy, but it's not like it just shows you how great of a guitar player he was, right? He did different things.
Yeah.
And there's a few other bands that he's been in that I've heard of, and it's even completely different than this. So Eddie Clark was a great guitar player. And
Yep.
unfortunately, lost him too soon. He was 66.
Yep. 2018. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been that wow. It's already 7 years. So yeah, So I went with. There's a sort of a theme here with a lot of these. It just happened to be coincidence. I didn't do it on purpose, but again, the opening track, the title track, All Fired Up. So I went with the opening track on the first two for just
Awesome song. Yeah.
how it happened to line up, and you'll see this theme for most of this. But yeah, I went with All Fired Up, just a high energy rock and roll song, just fun, fast paced song. I really like the fast paced stuff with these guys. That's where I'm just like, all right, yes, it's really high energy, right? And it's just-
Right. Yeah.
and it's nothing that hasn't been done before, right? But it's so simple, but it's like that's such
Yeah.
a good.
Not trying to reinvent the wheel. They just
No, but
Yeah.
it's fun music, right? It's an enjoyable listen.
Yep.
I did a top 10, and I picked a lot off of All Fired Up. I picked a lot of songs.
The whole album.
So it's just like I might as well
Yeah.
10 songs,
just
they're whole
throw it
one
out the
album.
window.
At the end, if you want, yeah, you can read off your top 10 at the end once we. Okay, so we got yeah. So who's next? No, we're on the next album. Okay, so now
Yep.
we get to. Oh my God, Ray.
Waiting
I-
for the roar.
I don't have anything to show off, so hold it up. Waiting for
Oh,
the
yeah.
roar. Yes. I
Show
mixed
her up,
the
Joey, show her up.
I mixed the release dates with these because you would think Trick or Treat's
Oh yeah,
older
it's
because of
weird.
the
Yeah.
yeah. I was thinking Trick or Treat was next, but they're not because the yeah.
I would think the same thing too, Sydney. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. So we got Waiting for the Roar, which Joey is just showing. It reminds me of the Thunder and Lightning album cover, and not just because of the lightning, but just kind of has that, I don't know, overall look
And
to it.
it kind of, I didn't notice this until last night. There's a little flag at the bottom, so
Yeah.
it kind of connects all the album
What
covers.
I don't know what the flag is, but yeah.
I think it's supposed to be something with racing. I mean, I could be wrong, but
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's a racing flag. Yeah, you're probably right, yeah. So this was recorded in Abbey Road Studios, of all places,
wow.
and produced by Terry Manning, so they had a new producer at this point. And he worked with Zeppelin, Maiden, Bryan Adams, ZZ Top, Tragically Hip, Booker T, Shakira, John Taylor, just all sorts of just George Thorogood, Molly Hatch, Shania Twain, endless list. So they had a big name producer for this.
We lost Joey. We can't go on, guys.
He's like,
What
I
are we
don't
gonna
like
do?
that. I don't like this album. I'm not no. Well, while we're waiting for Joey, waiting for the roar.
Yep.
So we got waiting for the roar is the first song, and Terry Manning, it shows he's actually writing on a lot of these. So their producer actually was doing a lot of writing on this album. All right, we got you back. And so the lineup here, we got Dave King is still here, Fast Eddie Clark obviously is going to be here. New bass player and Paul Reed, and a new drummer, Alan Connor on drums, and then a rhythm guitar player that they also added, Shane Carroll. And then there's additional musicians with Terry Manning on synths and backing vocals. There's a London studio orchestra, and Carl Marsh, Fairlight programming and orchestration, and Chris Thompson on additional backing vocals. And then so we got Waiting for the Roar, The World Waits for You, Little by Little, Change, Rock On, Tired of Your Love, Move Over, which is a Janis Joplin cover, Kill Me With Your Heart, Girl, Backdoor Man, and then there's a CD bonus edition, which I wanted to include with this, is Doing Just Fine. And then there's a cassette that has like a single version of Tired of Your Love for whatever reason. But yeah. So that's so what's Joey, what are you gonna go with for Waiting for the Roar?
Well, this one really wasn't too bad to pick. It was easy to pick because I don't know. I'm not a really big fan. I love this album cover, but I'm not a big fan of the album itself per se. You know, obviously the keyboards were added in there. Everything changed with this album, and it pretty much destroyed the band after this one. But I went with Kill Me With Your Heart.
Okay.
I think that song stands out the best to me. World Waits for You is okay, but Kill Me With Your Heart definitely is the best song on the album. And if you're trying to message me on the side columns over there, I'm not logged in. When I tried, that's when you lost me. So, you know, I could see your comments. So I'll try to answer them later on. But that's what I got, and that's why I disappeared for a minute there.
Oh, okay. I was joking when you took off. I'm like, he hates this album so much. He's like, I can't stand this. I'm leaving.
Not on this one.
No, that's chaos. It's chaos.
Give it time.
Well, it was my screwed up. I should have. I don't know if you would have picked Doing Just Fine. I forgot to tell you that we're including that, but yeah. So, anyway, Brian, what would you go with?
Me? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. Stuff is like kind of break it up. Okay, so yeah. So Waiting for the Roar, that was 1986, and so was Trick or Treat. Didn't they? That's like Didn't they release them both the same year?
Yeah, the same year, but this one came out first. This was February in '86. So then,
Right. All right. I'm gonna pick Kill Me With Your Heart, and that one just really, that's a good, kick in the nut. It's a good gut buster.
Kick in the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, there's when you start getting on to like later on albums, and again with the switching of the members and stuff, you lose some of the flair, you lose some of that energy, but they still
It all
had
starts. It
that
all
kind of
starts right here too.
Zeppelin kind of influence.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the one I would pick off of that. As far as anything else, this one's got skippers on it for me,
yeah,
so it's not
Oh,
as solid as the other three. Of course, I have Trick or Treat above this one.
yeah. It's a weird release. You would think Trick or Treat was earlier because it kind of goes back to that sound of the first two.
Yeah.
yep.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
just a
it actually did incorporate the first two albums, and it
yeah,
was new material. It was like,
yeah,
oh, this is great,
yeah,
which I think it made a lot of, it made a lot of new fans because of that, I believe. I would say it did.
yeah. It's a weird album that's saddled in between the first two and Trick or Treat. It's very strange because it sounds nothing like the others. The only similarity is the vocals because it's the same singer, but other than that, it's just like what the like it's just I don't know.
I'm almost thinking that they recorded the Trick or Treat stuff first, but they had to
Maybe.
wait for the album to come out. That's the way it seems like. I mean, I don't
That
know if
would
you
make
guys
sense, Joey.
know
Yeah.
the true
Yeah.
story on that or not. I don't know, but
I
that's what it kind of seems like because
I
of the.
think it might be done purposely because Trick or Treat came out October 31st, 1986. It came out on Halloween.
Mhm.
So I think they
Yeah.
were probably purposely aiming to release it on Halloween. And I
Probably,
guess, I guess they couldn't do it for 85 because All Fired Up was. They could have.
Vaguely
They actually could have because but they just maybe didn't have it recorded on time. So Logan, what are you picking from your favorite album of all time?
Well, I don't know about favorite. I give this one a pass a little bit. Okay, at least Dave is still there. All right, to me, as long as Dave's singing, it's okay. And I like some melodic kind of, and I think this has like the melodic and AOR tinges, of rock at the time. But yeah, what Joey was saying is true. I think this is the one that kind of killed their career pretty much. Going from hard, heavy guitar rock, to The World Waits for You and stuff. It's like, which
It's
to me,
AOR, I think.
yeah,
AOR.
well, yeah, AOR, yeah. But to me, I like both kind of styles, so it doesn't bother me too much. But back then, I could see it being like, "What are you guys doing?" It's like,
Yeah.
But yeah, I went with the title cut, "Waiting for the Roar."
Okay.
Yeah. So I think this one kicks off with some like clean guitar. It's got some heavy synth on it, like most of this album, and I'm pretty sure there's some drum programming. I know it doesn't credit it, but they kind of sound like drum machines on this track to me. And it's got like a cool little main riff, I think. This one kind of has that bluesier kind of edge in the riff, Yeah, and Eddie still delivers on some of the tracks. We lost our main guy. We're still going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Let's
think.
just
Cool.
jump in the show.
Yeah, I think you're right about that when you said with I think losing Jerry Shirley too as a drummer, and you go to this keyboard stuff and like you said, it sounded like it's programmed. That was a big loss. That was definitely a big loss. This Jerry Shirley was a very important part of these first two albums there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
100%.
it's just a shame that, when you look at it, this album had potential. Let's not totally slag it. I mean, I like a lot of the songs on here, and I'm just killing time here while we're waiting for Sid to come back.
Right.
But
To me, it
I like
sounds
Little
it's
by
half
Little.
unfinished.
Yeah,
Well, and don't you guys think some of the songs are like way too long? I mean, like World Waits for You is like almost 8 minutes. It doesn't need to be 8 minutes. Like,
Right.
but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I had to say about going for the roar or waiting for the roar. It's got a nice bridge section, kind of connects into Eddie's solo kind of well, and he plays some wah lead on this one. I think that's a big thing too. There's not a lot of solos on a lot of these tunes,
right.
and it kind of brings it down a little bit to me. But after I just said the rhythm guitar is more important, but I guess I'm hypocritical. I'm sorry, guys.
Let's see what the fast guy has to say here.
I kind of cheated here. I picked Doing Just Fine. The last song It's kind of the last song, I guess, technically, if you include it on the CD, which I don't have, but on the original, it's not on the original LP, but that's what I went with.
Bad, yeah.
It's kind of a bluesy rock song. It was like the only song without keyboards for the most part.
Yeah.
This is like, I don't know. I think that one would have fit in. I wonder if that's like a leftover from earlier material, because it sounds like it would have fit in more with the earlier stuff than this album.
Yeah.
To me, it just seems really out of place on this album. Actually, it's not a horrible album. Like, I can get through it. It's not like it's off. It's just some of the songs are just a little bit forgettable with the.
Well, yeah, like I was saying, man, they're just way too long. Some of them, it's like
World Waits for You's got a good melody. Does it need to be 7.5 minutes? It's like very little changes. Just singing "The World Waits for You." It's like, yeah, it's like, okay. It's kind of.
Yeah.
I almost went with "Girl." I feel like "Girl" could have been like this cool, like, it's kind of a bluesy song, but then it kind of gets neutered with the keyboards in there. It's just like, I don't know, it's a bluesy song. Why do you have like these synths in a blues song? It's just very strange.
Do you like Backdoor Man?
Yeah, it's okay.
I kind of thought that'd be the one you'd pick. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's all right. Rock On's good, but it's just kind of cheesy. I don't know. They're fun songs. It's just nothing that stands out. It's nothing I would ever really want to really sit there. Like, if someone puts it on, I'm not going to be like, shut that off. But it's just kind of there, right? It's just. But yeah, "Kill Me With Your Heart," the song that you picked. It's just, to me, there's nothing that really jumps out. It's just not that kind of album, right? And I think they were trying to chase trends at this point, almost.
100%. Yeah.
I don't even think they even had a lot of a lot of like record backing for this. I don't even think this charted.
It's like you recorded at Abbey Road. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I think you're right, Brian. I don't think this one charted at all.
Yeah.
I think it's an enigma for actually out of all the albums, and the other two didn't chart. Well, the last two they didn't chart at all either. So
yeah,
I think from here on we're gonna get the clunkers. Yeah,
was it? Well, Logan was saying he watched an interview. Was that for this album or was that for On Target?
No, it was for Waiting for the Roar.
This was for Waiting for the So there's an old interview of Eddie, and I guess it would have been. Was that Dave King that was with him? Okay, so that was Dave King. They were both doing an interview for, I guess, promoting the album. And Eddie Clark says, "We added a few synths on this. A few.
There's a couple.
We added a few synths for this album, so we're trying to kind of move it to the 80s a bit here. We added a few synths. Added a few. A little bit more than a few. All right, so then we get to... Oh, I almost said On Target. See, the lining up of this is weird. So yeah, we get to the soundtrack album, Trick or Treat. And before we get into that, Logan want to explain what Trick or Treat is, because I know he's a huge fan of the movie. I've seen it a couple times. I've seen it a couple times. It's really cheesy, but it's fun. But
yeah, it's just a cheesy horror movie from 1986. The guy from Happy, or what is it called, Family Ties?
Family Ties, yes.
Yeah,
Skippy.
Mark Price, right? He plays Ragman, which is kind of like this teenager, loner, kind of metalhead kid. Pretty much, he just gets bullied and stuff a lot, and he kind of finds solace in music. And his favorite rock star is Sammy Kerr, which is where my name came from. But yeah, he ends up dying, and Gene Simmons actually plays the DJ of the local radio station, and he gives Skippy the record, his last record, because he's the only one who has a copy of the final record from Sammy Kerr for some reason. But he ends up playing it, and he kind of comes back to life and wreaks havoc. And
it's basically a dead rock star. It's basically a dead rock star going around killing the people that bullied him. Yep. I think is what it was, right?
Yep.
Totally. And then Ozzy Osbourne plays like a televangelist, warning about the dangers of heavy metal and how evil it is. It's really funny. And then, of course, the DVD has them starring, and they're in it for like 5 minutes. But
they're the main stars, right?
They're in the movie for like 5 minutes, and they're on the cover.
I like how these are old. These are like 90s pictures too. Ozzy looks like 95 or something, and Gene's like 95 too. It's like,
at least it's not short hair, Ozzy.
Yeah, that's what he looked like in the movie, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he did. That was short. Yeah, he actually. Yeah. Oh, it's funny. Yep. It's a very cheesy movie, but. Yeah, but that was originally
the big cowboy hat.
Yeah. Funny. It was supposed to be Blackie Lawless was supposed to play Sammy Kerr, the rock star in the movie.
Yep.
But he turned the role down because he didn't want to sing other people's songs. It is weird. You're gonna ask him to sing Fastway songs when he has his own. Like what?
Yeah.
That's strange. He's not gonna do.
Sad thing about the guy who played Sammy Kerr too. He passed away like
He actually
a
did.
couple years
Okay.
after. Yeah. No.
Oh, okay. Did he come back to kill the people that bullied you, Logan?
I never know. Oh, I want to say this too, man. The guy. So Tony Fields is the guy who plays Sammy Kerr.
Tony Fields. That name.
And
Yeah, he was. In stuff too.
He actually showed up in Michael Jackson's "Beat It" music video as one of the backup dancers. So that's kind of cool too.
Wow.
You got Sammy Kerr there with MJ.
Boy.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a little backstory on the movie. It's if you're into cheesy 80s horror movies, give it a watch.
Yep. And heavy metal, man.
It's a pretty mindless movie, but it's funny and it makes you laugh. It's just it's so silly, but it's just one of those movies. It's unfortunately the movie didn't do well, and neither did the album. It kind of gained a cult following, but over the years. But it's a fun watch. It's a very fun movie. So Joey, what would you pick from this? Oh, I got a Trick or Treat, After Midnight, Don't Stop the Fight, Stand Up, Tear Down the Walls, Get Tough, Hold On to the Night. So you only got 7 songs, but then they did tack on Heft and If You Could See, which were from the first 2 albums. So I guess I don't know if they ran out of material and they decided to just throw 2 old songs on there. But
you gotta wonder too if Dave left around the time.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, you still got Dave King here. Obviously, Eddie Clark's gonna still. You got Shane Carroll on second guitar there, Paul Reed on bass, Alan Connor on drums. So you got the same lineup actually from the previous album, I believe. And then, it says Mick Feet from the first album, bass on track 8. Charlie McCracken's bass on track 9, and then Jerry Shirley's. But I guess that's because it's the older songs, right? So that's why he's credited. So they recredited them as playing on the album, even though technically. They're not really. These are old songs, right? So yeah, what are you gonna go with?
All right. Well, there's not a lot of choices here, but I would say most of the songs on here are solid. But I'm going with "Hold On to the Night" as my favorite on it.
Nice.
The last new song on the album. Just a solid rocker, and King's voice is top notch on it. And it's always been the one song on this album that really, really stand out for me. But I do like, a lot of the other songs on the album as well. But "Hold On to the Night" to me is my favorite.
Cool. Brian, what would you have to say? Same thing? You're nodding like you agree.
No. I because it's got the newer stuff. I'm gonna pick Heft. No, I picked "Don't Stop the Fight."
That's cheating. Don't Stop the Fight. Okay.
And I like it. It reminds me of like a Rat, or like a Rat or a Motley Crue, or one of those kind of hair bands. It really reminds me of. It's good. It's a good production. It was a good production for that album.
Oh yeah, and these songs really work, and when you watch the movie, it works so well with the scenes.
Goes well with the context of the movie. Yep.
Yeah, it's fun, but yeah, it's I guess it gets looked at as a soundtrack, right? So I don't know how people look at it as a real Fastway album, do they? I don't know, but
yeah.
I think everybody.
I don't know. I do.
It seems like everybody includes it.
Yeah, it gets listed, right? It is technically just a soundtrack, but it's all music by one band. So.
Yep.
So Logan, I know what you're picking. So.
Do you?
Yep. So.
Oh. Well, I'm going with Stand Up. I'm standing up.
Yeah.
But yeah, could have went with any of the 7 original songs on this one, but I just love the lyrical message kind of this one, and get tough and don't stop the fight, like Brian was saying, always fight for yourself in this world type thing, and it goes well with the movie, kind of ragman getting bullied and messing with the bullies and stuff. It's funny stuff. Yeah, just got a great anthemic chorus on this one, I think, and I wonder really if any of these songs were ever really played live much. I'd say probably not. I don't know, but I think they all could have worked well live, really. But yeah, and I love that bridge section with Dave's kind of higher vocals. Kind of one of the more memorable sections of any of the band's albums to me. I love that break into the solo as well, because Eddie kind of showing a different side of soloing on this song, because he's like kind of playing some melodic lead lines. I thought that was cool. But yeah, and then they just ride the chorus to the fade, and that's the end of that.
Yeah,
I love all these songs. So
he does sound great when he hits those really high notes. He's such a great singer.
oh yeah,
And then, so I went with actually the same song as Joey, Hold On to the Night. That was the one that stood up for me. It's got kind of like that drum shuffle, kind of like almost like a ballroom blitz kind of drum beat.
a little bit of Radar Love in there too.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, Radar Love, ballroom, that kind of drum shuffle, which is catchy. It does repeat a lot at the end where he just keeps singing Hold On to the Night, but there's leads underneath it. So
Yeah.
he's still soloing underneath while he's singing that chorus, so it's not just the chorus with nothing else. So I like that they at least added something to that while he's kind of repeating that line over and over. But I think that was the highlight for me anyways. It's just a very catchy, memorable song, and I love that whole drum shuffle throughout it. I just love the whole beat and the whole melody of that song. Just a fun song. And yeah, go see the movie if you haven't. I don't know where you would see it, but I don't know if it's on anything.
Well, they actually just re-released it on Blu-ray last year. So
Okay,
I need to go ahead and get a copy of that. So
there you go. They should have done a whole Broadway production. What's that?
There's 2 movies named Trick or Treat.
Yeah, don't buy the wrong
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Actually, they're both good movies.
They're
But yeah,
both
you end up
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
wrong one. Be like, where's Sammy Kerr?
And the
Oh.
little guy in Trick or Treat, the other one's named Sam, I think. The little
Is it? Oh yeah,
I think it is.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been so long. Oh my god. I remember watching that movie and then watching it again just like a week later. I'm like, it's funny. Oh god. They should have done a whole Broadway production of the album to tour for it. Bring the actor out, killing people on stage. Imagine. Kill the band on stage.
oh man, that's
Whole
fun.
Alice Cooper thing. So yeah. So that's Trick or Treat. So now we get into what I imagine is going to be everyone's favorite album.
We're done, right?
Say that we're done. Yeah, we're done. That's it. Show's out now. We got to do it. Yep. Fastway. This is actually from my dad's collection. I did not purchase.
Ah.
This is the original release of this.
Yep.
This is, and this is a weird one because it shows you got, okay, you can't really read that, but anyway, it's got the 4 of them on the back. This time we got Lee Hart on lead vocals and guitar, joining Eddie on guitar. Bassist Paul Gray, but if you go on Wikipedia, Paul Gray isn't listed on it as any of the former members. So it's just very odd because his picture's here and he's credited on here, but I did not see his name on Wikipedia. And then Steve Clark on drums, which is actually Eddie's paternal cousin. So he had him in the band. But then, like, if you look on the inside, this is where it gets weird because you got additional musicians. Don and Paul Airy, both on keyboards. Don, of course, from Rainbow. I'm not sure what the relation to Paul is. I don't know if it's his brother or his cousin as well. Neil Murray's also on bass, who's been in thousands of bands. Tim Carter also on bass. So you got like 3 bass players credited on this thing. So I don't know who plays on what. And then you got Terry Thomas on bass synths. So even the bass has synths on it. And then you got Gary Ferguson also an additional drum. So it's just really strange. And there's some really funny information in the liner notes here. We got all these people that are credited. It even credits their hairdressers. Like hair, Andy Holland of blah blah clothes. Like they're crediting their wardrobe people and their hairstylists and their security. And then it even says drinks, Smirnoff. Like what? Okay. Very odd. And then you got like, yeah, special thanks, all these people. And then one of them, it says, one of the special thanks, it says Sam the dog.
Yeah.
Dave
Thanks,
Ling.
Sam.
Dave Ling. I'm assuming it's supposed to say King, not Dave Ling. So there's a spelling mistake there. What else we got here? Richard, whoever that is. Just says Richard, no last name, just Richard. Okay. It's like Big John. And then I guess this was produced by a guy named Christopher
Probably their bathroom.
O'Shaughnessy. Oh no, it was produced by Eddie and Lee Hart, the singer. But I guess they had this arrangements by Fastway with Christopher O'Shaughnessy or I'm not sure how he says his last name. But in the liner notes, it says credited It's one of the special thanks is Pink Undies O'Shaughnessy. What? These are probably all inside jokes that they had with these people that would, but it's going to go over everyone's head that's reading this. You're going to be like, what the hell are these guys talking
You look
about?
at it 40 years later, yeah, it's like
Pink Undies O'Shaughnessy, okay. They even go as far as thanking Red Light Girls and then in brackets Bangkok. It's like, okay, so are you thanking groupies? I don't know. Like, it's just very strange. It's really, really weird. I don't know. Here's Nobby Winkle and the Gay Marauder. What? I don't know. It's very odd in those thank you credits. So, yeah, as Logan says, best credits ever. So, thank you, Richard.
yeah, Richard.
Is that when you know that it's almost over? When you have that many, that many,
So strange. Like, again, there's
Well,
probably.
it was really over because they broke up, but he got it back together.
Guess
So.
there's you gotta give them credit for their sense of humor with that, but it's like that those jokes would just go over your head reading them. I'd be like, what the hell are they talking about? Unless you know them, like you're not gonna
Yeah,
understand.
unless you're there, yeah.
What the hell are they talking about? Oh, so Joey looks excited to talk about this album, On Target, his favorite album. Oh, so go with the track listing here. We got Dead or Alive, Change of Heart, A Fine Line, Two Hearts, You, Let Him Rock, She Is Danger, Show Some Emotion, These Dreams, and Close Your Eyes. So, what did you pick from this?
10.
All right, I'm pulling a first here. I cannot pick one song on this
Oh boy!
album.
Oh jeez! Wow!
Yep.
Flip a coin and then that one.
I saw the Fastway logo when I first saw this because this was back in the day before the internet, and I saw it in the store. I said, "Fastway, awesome!" And I looked at the band and saw, that they had a new singer, and I said, "Well, it's Fastway, it's Fast Eddie. I'm gonna get it," and I did. And this is like a continuation, pretty much, of
Waiting for the Roar.
Yeah, except it's
even farther.
Yeah, it's even worse. Nothing catchy on
Even
here
more
at all.
No.
Yep.
So this is 2 thumbs down.
Oh boy!
And I can't pick a song. I tried.
Really?
I've been trying to do it for the last 20 years. I just can't do it.
Yeah, because you look at it, it's like, oh, a cool band shot. Okay, it looks like they're probably a heart. Looks like it might actually be their heaviest album, their most rocking, and then it's like, what the hell? Like they're all decked out in leather jackets, and it's like.
Why you can't go by Wikipedia? Because guess what genre it's listed under? Hard rock and heavy metal.
Sure. Hard rock, maybe. I'll give them a little bit of that, but I don't know.
Definitely no heavy metal.
You couldn't even pick something. Wow. I think those liner notes I read were probably more interesting than the music. I don't know. It's just.
Yeah, I don't blame.
Hate to say that, but yeah. There's some catchy stuff, but we'll get to that. Yeah. So Brian, are you in the same boat? Were you able to? Is this going to be a 4 people no picking anything?
This is more AOR. This is more. I don't want to call it drivel, but it was less interesting than the other one. So.
Yeah. No.
I don't know if I got my my bad girl 1990 pick in, but it's cut loose. But On Target, I got Close Your Eyes. That's the one that I was able to tolerate a little bit more than the other.
Ender.
Cool. Joey closes his ears when he listens to
it. There's a lot of skippers on that one. There's a lot of skippers.
Yeah, it's a bit rough. It's like okay, like it's fine. It's just like they're trying to be Bon Jovi almost, but it's not even. The songs aren't even memorable. Like just
no.
Yeah, like I said, these are they're half-assed albums. They're not even finished. They just kind of did
like
it.
Demos.
They meandered and then they put it out.
It was just rushed because there's not much time in between them really. And you got a new singer coming in, all new lineup, and it's just like, and all this confusion on who even plays on it. Like it's just.
Why did they waste the time re-releasing it and calling it reworked? That's got to be the most stupidest thing.
Is it reworked? I haven't bothered to go listen to it. Game of Frisbee at the Beach.
I never listened to it either.
Game of Frisbee at the Beach.
Well, guys, they did that in 1998. They re-released this album in 1998.
Like, it sounds like
what did they think was gonna happen? I mean,
this is the type of music that was huge in '98.
Oh man!
Like what?
No, it wasn't.
It's very odd. Yeah. It's like. So Logan, what are you picking off of this?
Well, so I kind of had a little not really a story, but I mean these last 3 albums I never really listened to before until we decided to do this. Yeah, because I love them first 4. Waiting for the Roar. I don't know if I'd say love, but I just really love that hard rock stuff they did. And then the second I found this on YouTube and started playing it, I'm like, what is going on? What happened to this? But I started reading about it. It's not really the same band and everything, and But yeah, this is probably the big. If we were ranking them, this would be number 7.
Yeah, I'd probably put for sure.
It could be number 8 in a 7 album discography. It could make that happen.
Oh my god!
But
you can't even make a box set with these albums. You can't even make a box set with it.
They would screw that. Imagine they'd make a box set and they would call it On Target.
On Target with the bad girls. But yeah, I went with the one song, the single song on this album that has Clark and Hart as the only writers. It's "She Is Danger," which is like the 7th track. But yeah, mostly based around the fact, like what I just said, it's the only one credited to them. I don't mind the chorus. And some of what Eddie is doing is still musically all right. I mean, it's not, but like I said, it's not enough of him on this album. And I was talking to Sydney before we went live. I think he was kind of very in the drug addiction kind of phase around this time. So really, a lot of this album is more the people who he had as the band.
Yeah.
And I say that like this because, I mean, what is this? It's not even a band anymore.
Yeah, it's just like a studio project using the name almost. Like it's...
Yeah. And I thought it was fun. It says Christine Byford does the female vocals on this track. So I don't know.
Okay.
Is that Biff's wife or
I don't.
sister?
That's actually, I've never actually. Yeah, could be because they are British, right?
Because I think that Carter guy played bass and saxon too, but I could be wrong. I don't remember. But yeah, less we say about it, probably the better.
So, sadly enough, this was actually the first Fastway album that I heard.
Man, no wonder you didn't want to listen to him. It's like
no, because this was like, because again, when I first started getting to music, I just went through like my dad's CDs, whatever. That's all I had was whatever he had. So I would just take songs that stood out from albums, and I would burn them onto like mixed CDs and like listen to those. And the one that I took from this was "Change of Heart." There's not even a guitar solo in there or anything. I just thought it was catchy enough. It's not the song I'm going with. I end up switching it to "Dead or Alive," the first song, because at least there's a solo in there. It was very hard. There's not really much to say about this. Like, there's those fast, good, like, fun, high-energy songs. Maybe if you remove the keyboards from this, there'd be lots of good songs on here. But even then, it's just, like, it's watered down.
I don't even understand why it even exists. I don't even understand why they even put it in.
Well, it really shouldn't, Brian, because they were broke up,
Yeah.
you know?
They were technically not even a band. Yeah. Oh, to me, Dead or Alive is catchy enough. It kind of sounds like it could be Journey, which is funny because they have their own Dead or Alive, which is a way better song.
Oh, yeah.
Dead or Alive, I don't know.
I don't remember them touring for us. In '98, I don't remember them touring. It's not like you're putting out the album so you can go tour on the old album.
89. Yeah,
Hmm.
so.
89?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's just, yeah,
And
they
I
were not on.
I-
They were
I
not
hate
on
saying-
target with this.
I hate saying it, though. Like, that Lee Hart guy, I don't think he could handle the earlier stuff either. I can't imagine him singing.
He's
Maybe.
Well,
He's got a good
Yeah.
voice. It's just he couldn't sing that other stuff.
I don't see. I think when we get to the next album, I think he sounds better on that
Yeah.
material to me. I don't. This pop stuff. I just don't think it's. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Maybe
I
it's
don't
just
know.
a me thing. I don't know.
I went with Dead or Alive. I thought it was just catchy enough. I found myself singing along to it, sadly.
Sydney, I can hear the chorus in my head right
But
now.
that chorus, the only song that I can really remember for the most part. Close Your Eyes, maybe, if I went to go back and listen to it. But it's not like, let's just say if someone asks me, what's a good Fastway song, I'm not going to suggest Dead or Alive, but that's, I think it's
I would
a
hope not.
decent song.
Nope.
Come on, Joey. Where's your on target poster? I thought you were going to have one in the background for the show.
Oh my God! Can you imagine if somebody has one of those?
It's like their favorite album of all time.
I've seen people on
There's
YouTube,
some
man. They
about
call it a
that.
masterpiece. Some people do.
There's just be somebody watching this that unsubscribes because it's their favorite album of all time. Oh, this is better than any Bon Jovi album.
It's
Yeah.
not a Boomer album.
No, it's just
not.
nothing's memorable. It's just there's a few memorable, catchy songs, but like they're just catchy. There's nothing really else to it. Like just okay. Moving on, since this album's not seeming to get much love.
Yeah, I think we trashed it enough, probably.
We beat the dead horse, yeah.
So, on to the Girl School album. Is
Yeah.
Joey's
Girl
gonna
School.
there's a little bit of information on that with Bad Bad Girls. Apparently, 2 members of Girl School played on it. So again, bringing in outside people.
Yep.
Which you hear a little bit, you can tell they're still using the outside things, but there's way better material on there. So Wikipedia doesn't even allow me. I'm gonna have to find the track listing now because it's not even on Wikipedia. This
Yeah,
album.
nobody's bothered to make a page about it.
That's crazy. Like
I
the
got
last,
it.
the last two. Oh, I got it. I got it
no.
on. I got it on my mute. Yeah. Okay. So I got. Funny enough, I've had enough is the first song. I've had enough of On Target. So, yeah, I've had enough. Bad Bad Girls, the title track. All Shook Up, and no, it's not that song. Body Rock, Miles Away, She Won't Rock, No Repair, Death of Me, Cut Loose, Lucky to Lose, and Big Beat, No Heart. So, Joey, what are you picking from this?
I've got the lead-off track on the album, I've Had Enough. That's definitely a catchy song. Some great riffs by Eddie. It was kind of like the return to Fastway because, as you can see on the album cover, they actually got the orange and red logo back, which gives it a little bit of fire.
Okay.
I was kind of surprised that Leah Hart was still in the band at this point. You record an album as bad as On Target, you figure the guy would have been fired and thrown off the tour bus or something. You know,
I mean, in his defense, is it really all his fault? I mean, Eddie's responsible for as much as he is, right? It's his band.
Yeah, definitely, that's definitely a highlight. There's a couple other songs I can like on here, but I've Had Enough is the one that just stands out the best to me.
Okay.
Cool.
Bad Bad Brian, what are you going with?
I'm going with Cut Loose.
You already said it, yeah, last, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you guys were breaking up, so I didn't know if
Oh,
you were
okay.
coming to me. So I got skipped. I don't know what happened. So that's me, not you.
Okay.
Yeah, Cut Loose. That's the only one that really stuck out for me. But again, this had no. There was no promotion for this stuff. There was none.
No.
It didn't rank. It didn't. I don't even think it even came on the radar.
Yeah.
Probably not. No.
Yeah, I'm looking.
It wasn't on TV in '90. It wasn't. It was. I think it was just. It was coming to a close.
Yeah. Yeah. There's. I'm looking at the. Oh boy, the reviews for this on this Rate Your Music website that I'm looking at are not kind. Just one of them. It's a dull, repetitive sounding album, just like their previous failure. 1.5 stars. Ouch. Jeez.
It sounds like one album because there's really no deviation to any of the riffs. It's all like the same.
Yeah.
Same song for a whole album.
Someone said the nice to look at album cover is the main attraction for this. Oh God, it's just some of the reviews for this are not kind. I thought it was way better than On Target.
I think so too. Yeah.
There's still the synths, but they toned it back a little bit. They made a little bit. It still has a little bit of a more harder rock edge. They kind of went back to the sound a little bit. It's nowhere near the sound of the early stuff by any means.
No. But
so Logan, what'd you pick?
Well, I've had enough, man. I've had enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, but Joey pretty much said everything that I was going to say about it. I mean, but I wanted to mention, like I said, Lee Hart, he kind of has a better. I think he handles this kind of stuff a hell of a lot better than A Fine Line or Two Hearts or
Yeah.
But yeah, musically this one's just like a heavy blues rocker. Some nice changes, especially about 2 minutes in. Eddie does some like palm muted notes. I thought that was kind of cool before the solo. And I said Eddie kind of tries to adapt his style into whatever styled album they were doing. Even if we don't like it, I'm sure there's people that love this period of the band.
Go to the YouTube comments. Go to YouTube comments. There's people actually praising this, saying this is the most melodic thing they've ever done. I'm like,
it's just crazy to think the guitar player of this band is the same guy who's playing like Stone Dead Forever and
Motorhead, yeah, Ace of Spades to like anything on here. Really, it's like what? It's the same guy.
But I agree with Sydney though. I think Bad Bad Girls is a smidge better than On Target. I mean, yeah.
It's their Mr. Roboto album.
Reminds me almost of like 80s ZZ Top, except not as memorable.
Yeah, and didn't you say you seen
Like-
a quote about that? Or...
I think it was in that same. No, I think that was when they were talking about On Target. They were saying, "Oh yeah, we're trying to go into the '80s. You know, synthesizers are popular right now. The ZZ Top." I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, they're trying to follow what
They admitted it. They didn't deny it, so they admitted it. They
Yep.
flat out were admitting it back then. I guess this money needed to come in, right? The stuff wasn't selling, so it's like.
Yep.
That's just. The problem is, you built a little bit of a cult following with those first 2 albums. They're not going to want to hear any of this other stuff.
Man, I can't imagine being a fan back then and just like every
Yeah.
time something came. But you probably wouldn't
Yeah.
even know. I mean,
No, probably
know.
not. That's the thing. Yeah, back then with no internet.
because they're on like what GRW records. So I
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a big label or.
Yeah, but apparently, yeah, like I said, apparently there's 2 members of Girl School that played on this. The guitar players actually. So it's like, really, does this need 3 guitar players or 4? Because Lee also plays. It's like, what? Like, okay. So I actually, it's funny. You and Joey lined up. I lined up with Brian. I also went with Cut Loose. It's
Cool.
a high energy rocker, and I kind of like how there's the one part where it slows down, right, right before the solo, and then gets there you kind of get like a good cool signature Eddie Clark guitar solo in it. If it's him playing the solo, who knows? With these things, but to me it's probably him most likely. But yeah, that's Cut Loose was the highlight for me from this one, which moves us on to our final album, where I guess they were trying to be clever. Yeah, Fastway was long ago. This is what 2011, so like they weren't even. I guess he just decided to try and have one more crack at it, and with a different singer this time. What was the guy's name?
Jeep.
What was it again?
Yeah.
Eat Dog.
Yep.
Eat.
Tony Jepson.
Yes, Tony. Yes. All right, gotta get
Toby.
a track. Toby. Yes.
Toby. Yeah. Sorry.
So we got here. Yeah, I guess they were trying to be clever because it's called Eat Dog Eat instead of Dog Eat Dog. Just trying to be funny with the title. Just like it's kind of corny. Like what? Eat Dog Eat. Why did you call it Dog Eat Dog? It's kind of silly to me. But whatever.
Yeah. Look at that cover. Yeah.
Interesting album cover.
Screams by me.
He's not. Isn't he just throwing up? He's not really eating, is he? Or did he just eat it? He's like spitting out blood, like he just ate like another animal. I don't know.
His little daughter did.
I don't know.
Backstage mentioned they made a live LP, which I think came out in like '91.
Okay.
Like Say What You Will Live, which is all old recordings with Dave King. So it's like,
Wow.
there's another, and I bet Lee Hart's like, what the heck, dude?
Yeah. Yeah. So you got
There
is
YouTube footage out there with the last guy singing a couple of the older songs. Yeah. So if you ever got a chance, look it up. I don't know if I've ever seen footage with Leah Hart singing any of the live stuff ever. They didn't really tour much at all. You know, back from what I can see here, after Dave King left, I guess there was just no need for these guys to go out there and tour because they just weren't. And then who knows?
And isn't it crazy, Joey? They went from opening for Maiden and Rush
AC/DC,
and then they don't even have a market to tour for anymore after 86, 87, you know.
Well, 86 was the last time they toured, and they only toured for the first 2 months of 86, and they only did like Germany and some overseas things.
Because I know there's a video on YouTube that has some of the footage with Dave King. It's kind of bad audio quality and stuff, but it's cool to see him there, you know.
Yeah.
But I agree with Joey though. The guy who puts things on this album, I think it's the same guy who does that footage in like 2007. That's great, man.
He's a great singer, actually. He's got a good voice.
Yeah.
So, Eat Dog Eat. Very strange title. 2012, actually. So, yeah, this is like, what, 12 years between this? No, 22 years.
Well, yeah, 22, yeah.
22 years between albums, so it's not even really... I guess he just tried to go one last crack at it.
Yeah, he's just trying to use the name again, probably.
Musically sounds nothing like Fastway. Anyway, so we got Deliver Me, Fade Out, Leave the Light On, Love and Fool, Dead and Gone, Sick as a Dog, Freedom Song, Who Do You Believe, Love I Need, On, and Only If You Want It. So, Joey, what did you pick from this?
Well, this was another one, and it seemed like all the songs were kind of similar, and nothing really stands out too much on this one. But I definitely don't dislike it like I dislike
On
further.
Target?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I went with Fade Out. That's the second song on the album. I thought the first one was going to be the choice, and then I heard the second song and go, oh, the second song's even better. So I picked Fade
Nice.
Out. There's a song that starts off nice and slow on here, and then I think it's Dead and Gone.
Dead and Gone, yeah.
It starts off nice and slow, but then it kind of goes into a whole weird direction that I never
Yeah.
would have imagined just from the beginning of the song. But
Yep.
I like the beginning of that song. But that's what I got
Cool.
for this album. Yeah, just Fade Out. And that's what I did. This is unfortunately what the band did. This was their last album.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of has almost, I don't know if you know the band, but it reminds me a lot of Brother Kane. That's kind of
Yeah.
what
Oh.
reminds me
I
of
remember-
musically.
I remember we were talking about this week too. You mentioned Collective Soul. It kind of has that.
A little bit. Yeah, it's
Same.
categorized as like alternative metal. I don't really hear that much. It's like hard. Some websites have it as hard rock. Other ones are a little bit of alternative influence in there, but not really. Maybe it's his vocal style, I guess, somewhat, but
Yeah.
doesn't sound anything like Fastway. Like you would not think
No.
this is Fastway at all.
I do
Like-
think though. I think it's kind of going back to the foundation of what the band was.
Because it's bluesy
About.
hard rock, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's
It's not
definitely
the same,
bluesy.
though, like you're
There's
saying.
leads all over it. I think it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I
I like
guess-
it quite a bit. Yeah.
So, Brian, what did you go with?
I went with the Freedom song. I like the On and On too. I like those, but I think all the good stuff's on the second half of the album.
Okay.
Cool.
The strong. I think the second the second half of the album is stronger for me than the first.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
So,
think the song was good.
Freedom
and
song?
It had some. It really threw me for a loop too, because I had never purchased this album.
Yeah.
I know for a fact if I had seen it and I saw that title, I wouldn't have bought it.
Eat dog eat.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't have
That's
been like,
so
nope.
weird. That's very weird.
I'd say you're not the only one, Brian.
Very
I'd say a lot of
strange.
people probably didn't even know this came out.
You might have bought it because it said Fastway on it. You're like, oh, it's Fastway. Okay, cool, new album.
I would have
Yeah.
skipped it.
Really? Okay, yeah, it's different, but I actually don't mind. I actually think it's way better than
Well, I think-
Bad Girls, and it's better
I
than
think,
Shirley on Target.
I think your dad probably said it the best because he said with more listenings to it, I think it'd grow on him a little bit more. I think
It's
the same
more-
thing, really.
It's probably, I guess, their heaviest album technically,
Maybe.
but
I know
it's,
that if you don't grow up with an album, it's harder to kind of
yes,
identify with it.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
if you get out of a band and you're trying to get back into the band, but you didn't grow up on those later albums. It's a little more tough for you to digest.
a lot of the
Yeah.
songs are a little bit.
This is
A lot of the songs are a bit samey. I get what Joey is saying. A lot of them are very similar because they're that same style, right? It's kind of like this alternative bluesy rock, like Collective Soul kind of thing. Great solos and leads, but I guess the riffs and the rhythms of the song tend to kind of stay the same for the most part.
Yeah.
Still strong, fun material, but there's nothing really like I would have to play it again. Like I look at the titles and I'm like, I can't think in my head how the melodies go. I'd have to go back and play it. But then when I play it, I enjoy it. It's just nothing that really sticks in your head for very long with this album. But Logan,
Yeah.
what did you pick?
I went with the track or the album opener, "Deliver Me." I thought that was
that's
a good track.
song. That's a good song.
Kind of kicked off strong. It's got a great like rhythm guitar riff. Great steady 4 on the floor drums and bass rhythm section. And Tony kind of reminds me of Slash's main singer in the band they have together, Miles Kennedy.
Miles
Kinda sounds-
Kennedy, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. And I mentioned kind of like a Richie Kotzen thing too at times. Sometimes, he's kind of got that bluesy thing to him. But yeah, and Eddie hits that wah pedal on this one. I love that little break.
There's a lot of
Lovely.
wah on this album, actually. He does a lot of
Oh.
wah. Because that's the style,
Yeah.
right? That's the whole style of this, is that kind of bluesy thing.
Yep. And I like the kind of what Sydney said about I think something on All Fired Up. That kind of ends the ending of the song. He solos over the ending. They sing the chorus a
Yeah.
bunch, so that's really cool. I like that. And then, instead of fading out, it actually ends, which we like on this channel. So, But yeah, just think getting back to the early sound did the band a lot of good, and unfortunately, this will be the last album like we were talking about. So
Because when he
but yeah,
died
I
in
think
2016, he passed away.
I think it was 2018. I think.
2018. Okay, so he just yeah. I don't know
But
what he.
yeah, I think they went out on a good album. I think if I listened to it more,
Yeah.
I think I'd appreciate it more every time.
At least this was not the last one. Can you imagine?
Oh God, yeah.
What was that? Yeah. So I almost picked "Deliver Me." That's the one song that I can remember how it goes. It's a good start to the album. I heard that and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a great album. But then after a
That's what I
while,
thought too, man. Yeah.
after a while, it starts getting a little bit of that repetitive nature, and it's kind of like, hey, the songs are good, but it's like I felt like I've heard the song already because the solos almost seem sort of the same.
Right. Yeah.
Just that overall sound of it, but still not bad music. And then else I was gonna go with "Dead or Gone." That's the one Joey mentioned with the starts off acoustic for like 2.5 minutes, and then it turns into like this heavy like Zeppelin riff.
Yeah.
Throughout the rest of it, total Zeppelin. So I was gonna go with that, but then I heard "Sick as a Dog" and I went with that. So I went with the title track.
Yeah.
Eat dog eat. No, I went with sick. I went with "Sick as a Dog." It's basically funny enough. I think it is. It sounds like it's the Beer Drinkers and Hellraisers riff by ZZ Top, which, funny enough, Motorhead actually covered. Motorhead covered, so that's no surprise. The Motorhead did cover Beer Drinkers and Hellraisers, so it's kind of not surprising that I guess he copied himself from a cover song. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Fun song. It's just hard. It was hard. It was kind of hard to pick something off of this because a lot of the samey sounding material. But I went with "Sick as a Dog," probably just because it has that Beer Drinkers and Hellraisers riff, which I like. And there's a good solo in there. Just, I don't know. All right album. Nothing I would really gravitate towards too much, but it was a fun listen anyways. But
yeah.
So yeah, that's our thoughts and that's our song choices for Fastway. So Brian, you said you went through the effort of doing a top 10 songs and ranking the albums. You want to rattle that off real quickly?
It's basically all fired up. But yeah, I'll go through them if you want.
All right.
So, "You Got Me Crying."
Okay.
"Hurting Me." "Hung Up on Love." "Tell Me." I remember that from the MTV. I remember that had video.
Yeah, that video, man. I love that video.
Yeah. "Tell Me." That's when they're in the bank and they're robbing the bank with the guitars.
Yeah, and Dave's like singing to get the money. It's funny.
Oh, I was laughing so hard, but that's a good song. And then, "All Fired Up." That was on MTV. Then I got "Easy Living." "The Stranger," which reminds me of some bluesy Zeppelin stuff.
Good.
I can't read my writing.
Sounds like me. I can't read my writing.
"Misunderstood." Oh, I have terrible penmanship, man. If I can't make a line,
Like
right?
a dentist or doctor, you can't read it.
Carpenter, you just take lines on wood and cut. If you could see and "Say What You Will," and it's tied with "Heft" for my number one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Come on, nothing off of this. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, where was These Dreams at? Come on.
Where was "Let 'Em Rock" or "You"?
If it's got rock in the title, it's probably going to be terrible.
Yeah, a lot of generic rock titles, right? That's just
Yeah, whenever they did that, I don't think it worked too good.
So
because they do it a couple times on their album.
How would you rank these? I guess almost in order of release, except the first two switched, All Fired Up, then the debut, and then basically just, or last album, I guess, would probably be, I don't know, how would you rank them? You said you did a ranking?
I did a ranking, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's all right, so my first one's All Fired Up, and then it's the debut. And then number 3 is the Trick or Treat. Number 4 is was it Waiting for the
Roar?
Waiting for the Roar. I'm sorry, I can't read my writing. Yep, and then Bad Bad Girl, and number 6 on Target, and then number 7 was Eat Dog Eat.
Oh, you like that the least? Wow.
I hate the title.
So
Okay.
the only thing I change about that,
I'm surprised you put On Target ahead of those.
I'd have Eat Dog Eat at 5.
Yeah.
And then I'd flip the first two around. But besides that,
Yeah. So, Joey, what's your rank? No, I'm kidding. I'm not doing rank. You're all like, Joey's like, I was psyching you out. On Target's my favorite. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure I knew we were going to be in agreement on that one. It's a bit of a curveball album, that's for sure.
Clunker.
Yeah, this was fun. So, yeah, tomorrow we'll be back again with another music hangout. We'll be playing a band
we're
called
going country. We're going country with it.
No, we're going country. Logan told his mom about this band. She's like, "Oh, is that country group?" No, different band. This band's from Pennsylvania. It's part of our state-to-state obscurities thing, and it's they got 3 albums. So we're gonna be playing those albums. A band called Diamond REO. They're from Pennsylvania. I think Pittsburgh. And don't quote me on that, but yeah, they are from Pennsylvania. So we're gonna be playing those 3 albums. It's kind of like 70s hard rock. So yeah, we're doing that tomorrow. And Brian, any shows that you're going to be appearing on?
Yeah, I got 2 coming up. I got one July 24th on Grant's Rock Warehouse doing 2 albums for The Dark Side, which is a kind of a psychedelic alternative acid rock kind of newer alternative band.
Okay.
From the 90s. And then I got something coming up next month with Grant again, and we're going to be doing Jane's Addiction.
Okay.
Ranking the album.
Don't get caught stealing.
Don't get caught stealing, he said. It's a Jane's Addiction song, isn't it? Yeah. Joey, what do you got going on Rock Show Critique?
Yeah, not too much. Obviously we're going to be doing a couple episodes over the next couple months here. A series on Crocus and a series on
Whitesnake?
Yes. And other than that, it's this busy time of the year for our website. We're out covering concerts all over the place.
Okay.
We just did Creed last night out at Syracuse. And Joey Belladonna came out and sang with Daughtry for Journey song. So that was pretty cool.
Cool.
Saw him come out and never expected to see him out there. That's for sure. So that was
Joey
cool.
Belladonna does like a DJ show, and he's up in New Hampshire all the time, just spinning DJs and singing like karaoke.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, he's in there. He likes this East Coast here. I guess he lives somewhere over here. Not sure exactly where, but he seems to always be around. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like his Journey tribute band, right, that he does on the side.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure if he's still doing that.
I don't know if he still does that, but I knew he was.
But I know he was at one point.
He's still doing it. I'll guarantee he's still doing that.
Yeah. So, other than that, we're just, we'll have a couple interviews coming up. I don't want to spill the beans yet, but stay tuned.
Okay. It's an interview with Logan.
No one wants to watch that. Come on.
No. All right, cool. So we've got some interviews coming up. Yeah. Check out Joey's channel. He's got Rock Show Critique. It's at the bottom of our channel where it's the guest channels. So
we've been on there a couple times. And
been on there a few times.
Yeah.
Looking forward to joining Joey with the Crocus and those Whitesnake shows. So that'll be fun.
Nice. I'll watch those.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, and then check the website too, because we got our own website as well, and it's all kind of intertwined. But that's where we keep all of our concert reviews, concert photos. YouTube page is more for the interviews and the shows like you guys have on here. But the website has a lot more content on it.
Okay.
If you guys really want to see any information on tours that are ongoing right now, we'll actually be covering Styx in Syracuse also this coming up week.
Nice.
So got a pretty good schedule going on here.
Cool. Sounds like fun. Yeah, Joey gets to interview all the rock stars. He's had Rick Emmett twice and Ulian Roth, and there's who else?
Yeah, I went down the list one time on the website of the
I was like,
interviews.
holy crap, how'd you land all these? We got Mark Storaci from Crocus. You got who else was on there? I think you phoned one with Tom Kiefer from Cinderella. Had a lot of cool interviews there. Yeah, some really cool, good interviews. So Joey brings in all the good guests. And here he is talking to me and Logan and Brian here. Yeah. Thank thank Joey for doing this, and Brian, it's glad to have you back again.
Thanks for coming
Glad-
on,
I
guys.
appreciate
It was a lot of fun.
It's been fun
It
to
was a fun
include you in
time.
these now. And then tomorrow we got our music hangout. And then next week for best songs, it's gonna be a big one. We limited that one to one guest, otherwise we would be here probably 4 hours. It's Kansas. It's 15 albums, so with none other than Davy Creighton. Couldn't think of anyone better than Davy because he's a huge Kansas nut.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Davy Creighton's a character. I love having him on, so that'll be fun. Can't wait to do that with Davey. That'll be a fun one. And yeah, so that's what's coming up for best songs next Saturday. And yeah, so tomorrow's our music hangout. Then we'll be back next Saturday with Davey for Kansas. And then I guess I could plug our next shows after that. We got Logan. What's coming up after that? My memory is
Isn't it Night Ranger, right?
Night Ranger on. Can't remember the dates, but yeah.
20.
After that's going to be Night Ranger. Yeah, so the next, yeah. So yeah, we got Kansas with Davy Creighton. After that, it's going to be Night Ranger with Tim Derling, who just did his Night Ranger book, which me and Logan were actually lucky enough to be included in. He asked us to, if he wanted us to contribute anything review-wise for anything, and so we're in his book. So that was kind of cool. My name's in a book now.
Yeah, I can't
Never
believe
thought that would ever
weird.
happen.
Yeah.
It is weird. I never thought that would happen, but yeah, my review of something's in a book. I'm like, okay, cool. So yeah, that's what's coming up. And then after that, I don't think maybe Logan will just sit there and then listen to us because it's not a band that he's into, but we're doing White Lion. And
It's like the middle of August, right?
August 10th, I believe. Joey's going to be with us on that. I think it's August 10th. I've got I don't know. I've got so many shows planned. I can't remember which one is the date right off the bat.
I might just sit there and stare at you guys and judge you.
Yeah, that's my. I agree with you. Yes, I agree. Yeah, good song. Yeah. So yeah, that's gonna have 4 guests because it's only 4 albums. So that'll be a fun one. That'll be. So yeah, we got those 3 coming up. We got. And then, also, we got Grant, actually, from Grant's Rock Warehouse is going to be coming on for Best Songs, I think near the end of August. Again, I'm horrible with remembering these dates. For Foreigner. So that's another one that's coming up at some point. And then in September, look, I'm announcing all these shows now. September, we're going to be starting like kind of 2 series, just kind of rotating each week. So it'd be 2 albums at a time, and we're going to be doing a retrospective on Rory Gallagher and Frank Marino, just rotating back and forth. So starting with Rory one week, going to Frank the next, and just until both are done. So we're going to be doing that and hope to get some different guests on for that. So that's what's going to be coming up on the channel. And we're, continuing our state-to-state thing every Saturday or Sunday, depending on when the other show is. So that's what's coming up. So thanks, Joey, for being on here, and Brian, and Sammy Curlins, the rock star back from the dead.
I came back.
Thanks for having me on. It was nice to meet you, Brian. Hopefully we'll see you again down the road somewhere.
You too.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure we'll end up on a show again together at some point. So, yeah, thank you guys for doing this. Glad you suggested this. This was fun. And, yeah, we'll see everybody tomorrow.